how to unlock your iPhone's camera full potential. Drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, let's talk about it. So, I've been using iPhones for the past 10 years, and with that, I've learned how to take the most out of my iPhone's camera. If you don't know, I've shot 2 years out of my YouTube channel on iPhone's cameras, and the videos gradually look better. There's a secret to taking good photos and good videos with your iPhone. But it starts with good lighting. Of course, if you don't have good lighting, your photos will never be professional. Your videos will never be professional. So, if you are inside shooting videos with your iPhone, the first thing that I advise you is not to upgrade your iPhone to a better camera, neither to try to upgrade every single aspect around the camera. No, simply upgrade your lighting. It makes a huge difference. So, yes, here's the video with good lighting on my studio setting. Even if I'm shooting on my Sony a6700 or my iPhone 16 Pro Max. The differences, yes, you can notice, is on the depth of field, is on the quality, but if I turn off the lighting with my iPhone, even with my camera, it will be much worse. And if I turn off my lighting with my camera against my iPhone, well, the iPhone will look better. Lighting makes the most amount of difference. So, at the end of the day, if you want to spend money in one single thing, is upgrade your lighting. But that's for studio. What can you change on your iPhone that can make the most amount of differences? Well, simple. First, you have two hardware buttons. So, you have the action button and you have the camera button. These are the two actionable buttons that you have if you come from iPhone 15 or 16. If you have an iPhone 15, you have the action button. If you have the iPhone 16 or older, you have the camera button. This is important because both of these buttons can launch the camera faster. So, if you want to take a photo really quick and you don't want to waste time opening up the camera and sliding over, then if you have an iPhone 15 or older, you can use the action button or the camera button to launch it. On the action button, I have the Blackmagic camera app. I will explain it later what it does and for what it's for. But for average people, for the normal consumer, the camera button, if you have an iPhone 16, is the fastest way to launch and to take photos. So you simply click it and it will open up the camera. It's pretty simple. So if you have an iPhone, again, master these two buttons. Customize the action button for your needs, like opening up the camera. Master the camera button for your needs, like opening up the camera, changing the settings, and then you will be much faster taking photos and will never miss your shot. But I have an iPhone 16 Pro Max, so let me show you how to use the camera button the best way. So again, if you have your iPhone, simply click on the camera button once and it will open up the camera. As you can see, hi, you are there. Then you have several options. If you lightly tap the camera button like this, it will open up the settings menu. Here I can change. The current setting is the camera lens. So I can change it for the ultra-wide lens, the normal wide lens, the 2x crop on the wide lens, and then my 5x telephoto. All of this can be changed just by sliding over on the camera button. But if you change it for a double tap instead of a single tap, it will open up the settings menu. And here you can change the setting that you want. For example, cameras. Then you can change the zoom. Click here and I'll be able to simply use the zoom ring. Again, I'm zooming. You're right there. But if you want to change another thing, double tap it again, for example. And then you can go change the depth of field. This will open up the portrait mode menu. And you can create more depth of field or less depth of field. The normal, I think it's 2.8. So I'll leave it there. Then you can change the exposure. Again, more exposure, less exposure. But all of this is just playing with the ISO. I wouldn't do it. It's artificial lighting. And then you also have another menu, which is the styles. And this comes with the iPhone 15 or older, and it gives you different colors and different styles, vibrant, luminous, different flavors to your iPhone's camera. I will explain later what they do and what can you do to make and to actually customize what you want, but I'll leave it at standard by now. And then of course, the final menu is tone. This is to change manually what you want. Click on tone, and then you can change it whatever you want, the intensity of stuff. I don't usually use these things, but if you want to take professional photos, it's a good measure to do so. Again, this is the quick settings menu with your camera button. It's useful sometimes. I don't use it that much. What I use the most is, of course, launch up the camera. And then if I want to take a photo, for example, I just simply force tap the camera button and click it because it's an hardware button. And then if you want to take a video, you just do like Instagram, you long press it, and it will start a quick video. This is the ways for use the camera button, and I think it's a really, really useful thing to do, the camera button. Then there's the action button. The action button, I have it for the Blackmagic Camera app. So if I click the action button, it will open up the Blackmagic Camera app and it will launch it already. But you can do the same thing for the camera app. You just customize it on settings. You go into settings, you go into the action button right here, and you will have shortcuts, you'll have magnifiers, you'll have translations, torches. But if you put it on the camera, leave the settings app, click here, all to open, of course, it will instruct you, and then it opens up the camera. You can also click the action button to take more photos. So yes, you can customize whatever you want. I like to leave it on the shortcut setting because it will allow me to open up the Blackmagic Camera app. And so this is how you take the most out of your hardware buttons from your iPhones. If you don't have any new hardware button for your iPhone, if you have an iPhone older than the iPhone 15 Pro or Pro Max, then simply just add a shortcut button to your lock settings. You can do it, for example, by going to your lock screen, like here, and let me just turn on the record button for you to show you. Simply go into your lock screen and you can click Customize Lock Screen, click Remove whatever shortcut you have there, then click here and choose wherever you want. If you want to open up the Blackmagic Camera app, click there and click Done, which now you'll be able to simply swipe right to open up the camera or click the shortcut here to open up the Blackmagic Camera app. That's that simple if you don't have any type of shortcut buttons. If you do have it, then just click them. It will be the easiest option. As for the video app itself on your iPhone, simply open up the camera app, go into video. You have several options, the cinematic video and the video itself. Cinematic will take a blurred out background from your subject. It's cool if you want to have depth of field, but I don't use it. It doesn't look that cinematic. You need to put it like at a, for example, go here, change the aperture for, let's just say, change the aperture for f2.5, f3.5. It will be more natural, but I don't use it, I don't like it, I don't think it's a good option. Simply go into video, the iPhone will take the best way in best video here. Click here and you have several options, HD, 4K, HD, it's the lowest resolution, put it on 4K, and then if you have an older iPhone, you will only have until 4K 60, 24, 30, and 60. If you have the newest iPhone 16 Pro Max, you can put it at 120 frames per second. This will take the best slow video you can take in the market. It's amazing. It's slow motion video at 4K. What more can you ask for? But then you have the video, click on the arrow, you have the three options. This is to turn on the ProRes, on and off. I leave it off. I don't like ProRes, takes too much space, at least on the normal camera app. Then you also have let me just go here, and then you also have the exposure. Don't change the exposure. If it's too bright, change it here, and then the flashlight, don't turn it on. Other than that, if you lock, you can lock the exposure, but you can also need to lock the autofocus. And this is the hassle because you need to lock your white balance, your exposure, and your autofocus at the same time. That's why I don't like to take video on the normal camera app. I simply push it out. I open up the Blackmagic Camera app on my action button, and here, lots different. You have several menus, you have several options. You can go into settings, change your codec from H.265 to Apple ProRes LT HQ422. And here you can change the codec of your video. You can change it for log. You can record a log video, which is raw video, tons of detail, tons of quality, tons of dynamic range. You can change your lenses on the right. You can change your FPS, your shutter speed. You can lock it. You can lock your ISO. You can lock your white balance. You can lock your tint. You also have access to your Instagram in the top left bottom of your screen. You also have access on the center bottom of your screen for how much time you can record, and then to your microphone levels. This is the best way to record video on the iPhone. Takes the best video. Definitely go for the Blackmagic Camera app, and it's free. But if you want to change these settings, you can go into the settings app, go into the camera, and here you will have several options, camera control, photographic styles, but then I will go to record video. And then here I would choose 4K at 60. This will be the best quality for most people. You also have the option at 4K 120, like I told you. That's for only iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. Then you have the PAL formats. This is just for people that live in the EU. I live in there. I don't have it on, so don't use it. I have enhanced stabilization on. This will take the most stable video possible. Action mode is also a really cool mode that enables you to take stable video. Love it. It's super insane and it's super stable. Use it, guys. HDR video, always turn it off. It's terrible. I don't like it. Then auto FPS, this will change your FPS according to how much light you have. This will make your video always look smooth and normal. I will also turn that on. And lock camera, don't do it. It will lock your camera, your lens. So whenever you are taking video, you cannot choose between the ultra wide or the telephoto. So it will be cropping in and cropping out. Don't do it. Leave that off. And always lock your white balance. It's very, very important while recording video on your camera app, because it will shift between colors and it will have that weird look whenever you record outside, then inside, and then to a person, then to something that is not saturated, switching the colors, and then editing that in post. It's horrible. So turn that on. The most important ones are turn on the lock white balance, turn off the HDR video, turn on the enhanced stabilization, and put it at 4K 60 frames per second. And that's all for the video part. You can also change the settings for slow-mo and cinematic. Never use it. If you have an iPhone 16 Pro Max and an iPhone 16 Pro, you can change the type of record sound that you can record, stereo, mono, or spatial audio. I would turn on spatial audio for better purpose in the future with Apple Vision Pro. That's just it. And then, of course, you have more things, but that's more for the cameras. And now I want to talk about a bit of the camera app and the photos that you want to take. So first, go into photographic styles. And here you can set your photographic styles. This is important because you click Get Started and it shows you 4 photos. As you can see, 4 photos has been chosen. And now I need to switch between different styles. Amber, which is a bit more saturated. Gold gives it that goldish color to the photos. Rose gold, a bit of more of a rose tint to the gold photos. Neutral, don't use this. Neutral gets your iPhone photos, which are already more neutral. Don't do it. And cool rose. This is a bit cooler setting. I don't like it. People prefer cooler photos. I don't. And then, of course, you choose whatever you want. It can be amber, click continue, and that's it. You can personalize your tone, more, less, and then you click save tone and color, and that's it. You have chosen your photographic style. I normally reset to standard because I don't like to have this in, so I need to edit it in post. I like to edit my photos in post, so I decide to do this on the camera. Of course, to take better photos, you can also go into your camera app, and here you go into the photos. It's important to master your photos because you need to know how to use it. You need to click on this arrow. You will have several options. You have your flash, the live photo, photographic styles, 4:3, exposure, and the timer. Flash, always flash off. Never use flash, ruin your photos. Live photos records your moments, before and after, and sometimes it's useful. Most of the time, it is not. Especially if you want to take the best photos possible by turning on the Pro RAW Max, which is the mode that you can take raw photos with your iPhone at 48 megapixels. Oh, I forgot to show you. Go into the settings and then go into the formats. Here you can choose between different formats of your camera. I leave it on high efficiency, which will take the best photos with the least amount of space possible. Most compatible will take photos most compatible with every device. Android TVs, any type of computer, Windows computer, whatever. If you want to share photos with that, leave it on most compatible. If you have Macs, if you have iPhones or iPads, high efficiency is the best codec to take photos. Then on the photo mode, leave it at 24 megapixels. This is useful for people that have the iPhone 15 Pro Max and 15 Pro or newer, because you will have a 12 megapixel or a 24 megapixel mode to choose from. 12 megapixels, the photos will be more resolution, they will be simply sharper and better. Leave it there for a bit more space, like 1 megabyte per photo. There's not much of a difference. Turn on Pro RAW. This is important because it will take raw photos. Raw photos are important because they will give you better quality and better dynamic range whenever you are editing later on Adobe Lightroom, Adobe Photoshop. If you want to edit your photos in post, this is very, very important. Leave it on. And then Pro default, it's the default that you want to take photos in RAW. I leave it at 40 megapixels, and the JPEGs that I take are also lossless. Finally, Apple ProRes, turn it on if you want to take log video on your camera app. I use the Blackmagic camera app, so there's no issues there. Moving on, going again into the camera app. I was taking raw photos. As you can see, this is raw. It turns off your live photos. So taking raw photos, it's the best part of taking photos, right? It takes incredible photos. It takes high dynamic range photos. It's the way that you take the best photos possible with your iPhone. If you want to take professional looking photos with your iPhone, you need to do this. It's the most important part. Moving on. Then you have, again, I was showing you the live photos. You have the format. You can take it at 4:3, square, or 16:9. And I wouldn't take it on any of those. Don't take it on square. Don't take it on 16:9. Take it on 4:3. And the reason being is pretty simple. Then you can crop in later, in post, which is the best way to do it. You take the full sensor's resolution, and then you crop in post later on. Because if you take 16:9, if you want to edit by some reason zoom in or zoom out later, you can't. You are screwed and you are stuck in that 16:9 aspect ratio. Always take the biggest photo possible with 4:3 on your camera app. Exposure, don't change it unless you think it's too bright. And then timers is useful to take photos whenever you are not shooting. 10 seconds, 3 seconds, or 5 seconds, choose to your own liking. And I think that's it. Oh, yeah, you can change your turning off the raw max, you can change your photographic styles and your moods and your undertones. To the right, change your moods of the photos. It's almost like a filter. It's different, dramatic, quiet, cozy, looks cool, fits my living room, and I think it's pretty cool. And of course, you can leave it there and it will always be turned on like that. You can change them also on the bottom square right here. I leave it neither or natural or either or standard, but I think natural looks the best. I will leave it on natural. And yeah, this is how you take the most out of your iPhone's camera. Guys, it's easy. Just follow through all the steps that I showed you today and you'll take the best photos with your iPhone's camera. Does not matter if you have the best iPhone in the world. Again, what counts the most is lighting, time of the day, and of course, your skill. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.